Can we talk about the bull's charges?
Certainly. What can I tell you?
Have you had any other interesting jobs?
We went up against Gatler's giants in Ferelden. Not actual giants, but big guys, all wearing a dragon's weight in armor. Might as well be fighting golems. The chief challenged Gatler himself to a single combat. Gatler laughed and called him a horned savage. The chief broke a dam and flooded the valley. Last we saw of Gatler was a bunch of bubbles as we swam away.
We'll talk later.
In this segment, we're primarily working on side quests for the Avar and a few for the Inquisition.
You must have made a great impression on the Avar. Some of them paid us a friendly visit. A couple even helped repair our fortifications. And one woman brought us a barrel of fermented fish. Kenrick ate some. To be polite, he said. Well, he was a very polite shade of green.
I thought we could catch up.
Of course.
We'll continue this another time.
Safe travels.
We have fast traveled to Stonebear Hold to pick up some of the quests here.
Rat things with frost dripping from their claws.
I have. Augur says it's bad magic.
Inquisitor, I'm honored by your visit. I'm Finn Coldenson. Forgive me if I don't stand to greet you properly.
How are you injured?
A storm blew up a few months back. It's the worst we've seen in a while. I was helping to secure the fishing boats. Einar nearly fell in. I caught him, but the current caught me. My leg got crushed against the rocks. It hasn't set properly.
You seem troubled. Is it your injury?
In part. Gida Meerdotten prepares my father's body for sky burial.
I'm sorry.
I knew it would be soon. I miss him.
I'll let you rest.
Lady keep you.
Outside of Finn's hut, we have the Huntmaster for the Avar for Stonebear Hold.
Inquisitor, you've need of a hunter, or you're just wandering? Doubt you lowlanders see many holds, but I'll tell you, there are none finer.
I assume you go hunting yourself.
Of course I do. Who says otherwise?
No one.
I lead our hunts, Inquisitor. My leg aches. One eye can't see in the dark, and I bring more meat than anyone in the hold. Goat's piss, do I hunt?
A yes would have been fine.
Suppose you can't help lowlanders' manners.
Do you have any idea where Storvacker has gone?
Our hold animal's a hungry one. She might be after the game in the valley to the west. As the weather's turning, I'd not think she'd roam further.
Farewell.
Now, up the hill we have an arena. This kind of harkens back to the Deep Roads in Dragon Age Origins, in that you go in, you fight people, and if you win, everyone's really impressed, and it shows that the ancestors/spirits favor you. In this game, however, it's not plot required.
Come to test yourself.
How so?
Our warriors want your measure, Inquisitor. Bring us an offering, and we'll let you fight Hakon's trials. Stonebear Hold would know if the spirits favor you. So would I.
Do you run this arena?
I do. I'm called Arkan Felsen. I prepare warriors for the gods. Truly, I drill it into young heads that no one's born knowing how the axe swings or the arrow flies.
What do you mean, prepare your warriors for the gods?
As we train, the gods see us become worthy.
Worthy of what?
A second strength when you most need it. A glimpse that spots a blade in your heart. Warriors must show their will for these gifts, and the will for practice.
Impossible. These people would all be abominations if this were true.
Our augur's no fool. We keep the bad spirits at bay. And spot them in those who draw them.
I'm sure you think you do.
What is this trial, exactly?
Battle against our best. Wit and muscle, and steel against steel. Not to death, just surrender. In case you're afraid.
That's a relief. Wouldn't want to widow the entire village.
Oh, I like this. Bring the stomach to match those fine words.
Can we begin this trial of Hakon?
We need an offering from you first. To honor Hakon and the dead.
Why do you pray to Hakon when his fanatics cause you so much trouble?
Hakon Winter's Breath could be testing us through those fanatics. He can be a cruel god, Lowlander. He'll favor the victor and no other. Strength to strength. If the jaws of Hakon tried to raid us, we'll feed their scraps to the bears.
Farewell.
Safe journeys.
Now in Dragon Age Origins, you could actually avoid going into the Proving Arena if you wanted to, unless you were a castless dwarf, and then your origin made you go into the Provings at one point.
Cover it in gold leaf and it wouldn't be terrible.
For this one, the only reason you do it is to gain favor with the Avar, and for shits and giggles. We're mostly doing it for shits and giggles. Up here is where the Avar corpses get prepared. We can see where they're laid out for their sky burials. It's very pretty. I can think of worse places to be laid to rest. And then in here, we have the father's body, I presume.
Be welcome, Inquisitor. Though I fear I've time for little more than a greeting. I must prepare these souls for their greater journey, particularly those who depart without the reverence due. Their way is often hardest.
I'm not familiar with Avar funerals. May I ask what proper rites entail?
When the time comes, we are given sky burials. For most, the body is laid out and prayers given. When the birds come, they carry the soul to the Lady of the Skies. The body, unneeded, is gone.
For most?
Some souls, such as Calden's, are chosen to return. The augur reads the signs of birth. It is a rare honor. In order to return, an offering is made to Korth the Mountain Father and buried beneath the body. A piece of the soul thus remains, allowing the rest to return to this world and be reborn.
Will someone not be given proper rites?
Calden Enverson is one of the few whose soul may return. Bloodkin must make an offering to the Huntmaster, who prepares it. Or so it should be. Calden's son, Finn, has failed in this duty, but then there's you.
Me?
You're a guest of our hold. A gift from you cannot be refused. Even an offering for Calden. I cannot dictate the nature of a gift, but if my suggestion appeals to you, speak to the Huntmaster.
Calden's son is injured. It's not his fault he can't make the offering.
As disappointing as that may be, it is not my place to ignore the gods' laws on a whim. I honor them in word and spirit, Inquisitor.
You suggested a way around tradition by letting me make the offering.
The spirits have seen Finn fail. To undo it may be to undo their will. A gift from another does not bear this weight. Calden's soul could travel easily.
I should be off.
Lady keep you.
Inquisitor.
I know about your father's burial, and the offering.
I tried. I dragged myself out of this cursed bed, but the pain... I collapsed. The Huntmaster found me and dragged me back. Said we didn't need another dead man.
If your father was still here, would he not agree?
He won't be my father much longer, but... yes.
What do you mean?
I can't make the offering. When the sky burial's complete, I'll lose the right to bear my father's name.
Wait, so he does this, or he's the wrong kind of elf?
What?
Never mind. You help.
Whether or not he's my father, I still love him. I would not see his soul severed from the earth, if it's meant to return. If you can make a gift of the offering, there's no way I could repay you.
I'll let you rest.
Lady keep you.
Inquisitor.
I spoke to the woman preparing bodies for funeral. She said I might make an offering. For Calden.
How would... As a gift? Sly woman. In that case, I'll accept an offering from the hand that gives it. Tradition says the offering's made to Koth. Only creatures who touch the god's realm will do. I'll mark where some were last spotted. It'd be an unmatched gift, Lowlander. I still pity Calden's son, though, losing his father's name.
Farewell.
Farewell.
We have a little more poking around the hold to do, but once we're done, we are going to go out and get the animals for that offering. For the moment, we're going to head down and talk to the Skald, which is the Avar equivalent of a bard. She doesn't have any quests for us, but gives you some flavor of the area.
You're the Inquisitor. I hear your people already sing songs of you.
How are you so well informed?
Oh, Helsdim soaks up gossip when he goes trading. He just returned from the lowlands. I'm Fulna Hethstotten, Keeper of Histories, and Skald to the Hold.
I've never met a Skald. Is that anything like a bard?
I suppose. Every hold has someone who sings its songs. Doesn't yours?
Fair enough.
We keep the old songs and histories, the oaths and the legend marks.
I understood all of that, except legend mark.
The Skald before me was born Gulda Elsdotter. She crafted a great new tale for the hold. It pleased the spirits. After that, we called her Gulda Gildan's Song.
So they're titles, honorifics.
Not all carry glory. My father was Heth Mule's head. He'd never let go of a quarrel.
Can you choose a legend mark for yourself?
Only if I wanted to be scorned as a child. I've only been a Skald a few years. I've not made any great feats, good or ill. Yet.
Farewell.
Good journeys.
This is one of the Avar merchants. I'm bringing us in here primarily to read this note, because it makes me laugh. There is also a nug over here that you can release if you want to. Then it just kind of runs around the village. It doesn't do anything. Up here we have the augur, who we need to talk to.
What did I tell you? Lowlanders from the north.
First, we're going to make another stop in here, though. This is another merchant. However, this is the merchant who's been referenced a few times as the one who goes to Orlais and reads books.
About in the lowlands, aren't you? The Herald of Andraste.
Many call me that.
Helmsdim Rolfson. I trade our goods outside the hold. You'll not find better this side of the mountain.
Have you traveled outside of Stonebear Hold?
Koth Mountain Father provides. But press us, and we'll admit there's lowlander goods we can't craft ourselves. I sell our goods there. The old trader taught me how to read and write, and how to act in your cities.
Where does your trading take you?
Denerim and Southreach in Ferelden. Leeds and Verchet in Orlais. When the passes are clear, I take our wares to Val Royeaux.
Surely you can get a fair price for your goods closer than Val Royeaux.
Ah, well, that's truth, but have you seen it? My heart lies with the hold, but I'll die remembering the light on the gates of the sun.
One of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Everyone thinks I'm mad when I speak of Orlais. They believe I make half of it up. As if I could dream up those fountains and palaces, and those frilly little cakes.
One could almost believe you admire Orlais.
You sound like the Thane. Most in the hold call any city outside the mountains prideful or lowlander folly.
Farewell.
Another time.
Alright, so back outside, the augur is up here. They handle magic and spirits very differently than the rest of Thedas.
So, she arrives.
Don't throng. Behold, worthy ones, the woman who blazes like fire and mends the air.
That's a lot of not good.
What is this?
Oh, demon summoning. Delightful.
I am the Ogre of Stonebear Hold. I greet you, as do our gods, the gods of our ancestors. It is done. Now come, be welcome, and hear news of the North.
I'd like to ask something.
Then ask.
I assume Augur is another word for mage.
I am a mage. Yet not all mages are augurs. I give counsel to other mages, and the same. In turn, an augur takes counsel from the gods and shares it with the Hold. I make their will known to us, and ours to them.
So you're an ambassador to the local spirits?
They protect the Hold. They help drive off spirits who've gone bad with rage or gloom. The gods live with us. Ignore their offerings, offer them nothing, and it weakens us all.
I've heard enough to realize that when you say gods, you mean spirits. Why do you pray to them?
We offer to them. We don't pray like the lowlanders to a creator they think will weather all the ages.
Do you actually think they're divine beings? Something more than magic?
The spirits watched us even before we came from the north. They shaped themselves into our gods, and we grew to love them. Their secret gift is this, Inquisitor. They reflect us as water does the sky. They show us what we wish to be. That image gives us strength. For that, we thank the gods.
I should be off.
Farewell. Be welcome.
Did you just introduce me to spirits?
The gods of the Hold clamored to see you. I obeyed. For I'm their voice, and their augur. And if I didn't show you off, they'd hound me for months.
What did you mean when you said I blaze like a fire?
How do you think you appear to the gods of the Fade? To those beyond the Veil, your hand burns like the Watchman's bonfire.
Are you saying every spirit in the Fade knows where I am?
Only those nearby, but thoughts spread quickly among the gods. They tell me strange things. That you muddied Time's waters where the cliffs are red, and returned again.
I'd like to ask something.
Then ask.
I should be off.
Farewell.
We do have an upcoming quest that's going to talk a little bit more about how they handle spirits and training mages. For now, though, we are going to head back out into the Frostback Basin and get some of our quests done.
Sarah, I was speaking with Dagnar recently. Did you take some of her tools?
Just the thing that removes the screw bits. I thought I'd put it back. I'll put it back.
Why did you have it in the first place?
Needed it for the hinges.
What hinges?
Like on a door. Don't worry, it's not for you.
That's comforting. Ped, there's no telling what trouble we'll find down here. Over there. We must do something.
The person we just saved was Coilette, Professor Kendrick's research assistant. There's actually several quests in this area that we're going to get to. She just happens to be the first. Once we talk to her, she's going to invite us up to go and see some of her research.
Inquisitor. Still finding it difficult to breathe, but I'm not strewn across the landscape, so thank you. I'm Colette, Professor Kenrick's research assistant. I was hoping to conduct a survey of a Tevinter ruin in the hills. I may not have chosen the best route.
You're Kenrick's research assistant, so that makes you a student at the University of Orlais.
It does? Why?
Orlesian institutions aren't always accepting of elves.
We can't all run inquisitions, but I imagine you've caught whispers behind your back, too. The university accepts those worthy of admission, though elven students are few.
How do you find it there?
It's not easy, but this is what I want. And I like working for Professor Kenrick. Elven research students, where publications concerned, their work's often deemed not substantial enough for formal credit. But Kenrick cares about people who want to learn. If our research finds an audience, I know my name will be included.
What were you hoping to find at the ruin?
The Tevinter's time here was brief, but their architecture endured, offering shelter, forming landmarks. Ancient Avar would have encountered these structures, which certainly predate Inquisitor Emeridan. Evaluating the ruins could offer insight into the region's history, once I can get set up.
You're still going there?
I've read everything we have on Emeridan, and studied up on new excavation techniques. I won't waste this opportunity. If you've a map, I can show you my destination, if you'd be interested in the findings.
Stay safe.
I will.
We're still in the creepy swamp. However, up here we have 5 hanging lanterns with skulls on them. You cannot search for them. You can't make the search key.
Using these bones in a warding spell.
It could be blood magic. Let's look for any more skulls.
And they are not marked in any way. You have to actually look for those glowing lights. They can be difficult to find. If they're the first thing that you do and you don't leave in the middle of it, it's not so bad, which is why I'm getting them all right now. Although this one proved to be tricky because I forgot how to get up there. We're going to go around the root. We're going to try to jump up the root. No, no, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Haha! There we go. And now we just need one more, which we can see off in the distance on the other route that you actually can walk up. That's why I got confused. Some of them you can walk up, some of them you can't.
I think that's the
Alright,
last of
boom,
the
that's
bones.
done.
What were the Jaws of Hakon doing with this magic?
Maybe don't keep
We'll take
touching
those back to the auger.
and ask the Avar, who talk.
Of course. Let's speak with the augur.
And our bear is
Look at the
right up.
Someone fought a beast here. It could be the Avar bear. There's no corpse. The bear must be nearby.
In here. Every time I try to say something, they start talking. There's going to be a whole bunch of Avar up there. I'm going to skip through most of the fight the way I typically do to save time. And now that they're all defeated, yay, that was magical. We're going to open the gate for Storvacker and let her out. Of course, we're going to need some more. And when we leave, of course, there's going to be a nice fresh wave trying to prevent us from taking Storvacker back. That is done. So we will go back to the hold and let them know about their bear once we're done with some things out here. First, we're going to pick up some codexes and some loot that's hidden back in this prison.
I have something for your silly group, Sarah dear.
Right, I bet you have plenty.
A simple note for your Red Jenny associates. I believe it may point to anonymous holdings of one Lord Samarath.
I know him. Pisshead's hard as ice with his people.
Indeed. It would be a shame if his involvement in certain activities was revealed, his position at court weakened.
So we hurt a real prick, but you swoop in. We help people, but it helps you more. Arrgh.
Try not to cry openly, dear. It's ever so demeaning.
Up here is the first of 3 Fade-touched animals that we need to kill for Finn.
One of the animals the Huntmaster described.
Many creatures avoid places where the veil is thin. I suspect this was an exception.
Out of the swamp is our Fade-touched lurker. That's going to be the second one.
You actually see me playing the game, Vivian?
Not now, perhaps, but you could.
Wearing ball gowns and painted masks, decking myself in jewels and curtsying to suitors.
It is a battle, my dear. The armor and the weapons differ, but just as much blood is spilled.
I never thought of it quite like that.
You are a warrior, Cassandra. You'll be one whether you dress in steel or lace.
Inquisitions. We should help them.
Lieutenant Farrow, sir. We've beaten back those Hackenite bastards. My men and I will hold here. The Hackenites along the river still pose a threat. After this last battle, we need time to fortify and regroup.
What's the situation along the river?
Between the Hackenites and the wildlife, this isn't the easiest place to maintain a presence. The river's the best way for the Inquisition to send supplies from Skyhold, or it would be if we could travel safely along it. The Hackenites set up camps near the banks, and they attack anyone who gets within view.
That will be all, Lieutenant.
Sir?
So one of the downsides of being a necromancer is sometimes when you possess a dead body, it'll just walk around for a while and you can't leave combat until it realizes it's supposed to be dead. Yay! In our next segment, we're going to continue looking for the last Fade-touched animal for Finn, as well as clearing out some of the Hackenite camps. In addition, we're going to find a wayward Avar out in the wilderness.